Hey, what's up, everybody? I think this should be working. Let's get to it. Yeah, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. This came out on Tuesday. This game's a couple days old. It is, as the name implies, a flight simulator. So what's cool about these is that you can go literally anywhere in the world that you want to. The entire planet is mapped out using satellite data and other cameras from airplanes and LiDAR. I'll probably talk about that all at some point. But this is the entire world that is in play. And you'll see all these dots and stuff. Every single dot on this map is an airport somewhere in the world. You can see a lot of dots, right? There are something like 37,000 airports in this game, which is just ridiculous. And you'll see the detail that can be found in some of them, at least, in this video. So I'm just going to poke around for a while, fly around, and just do some random sightseeing. I asked Instagram where we should go, and I got a handful of different answers, so I'm going to try to hit some of those places. But yeah, this is mainly for me just to try out the technology again, because I haven't live streamed in several months, and with the school year starting and us possibly being online at some point in the school year, just want to make sure I am good to go. So I'm going to start here in Los Angeles, LAX. I'm flying a Citation CJ4, which is it's like a luxury, private airplane that some business executive might have or something. Mainly just pick it because it's really easy to fly. So, and it's fast. I don't like all the slow planes that there are in this game. Well, not to say I don't like them, but if I want to go sightseeing, I'd rather just get to the places faster. Also, literally the only thing about this game that isn't just completely amazing is the load times. So there might be basically every time I want to start a new flight, there's going to be this load time. So sorry, nothing I can really do about that. This is a game, by the way, that there's so much information, there's so much data that the game uses to create the world map that you fly over, that you could not possibly house it all on your hard drive. So, as a result of that, the game is actually streaming at any given moment. You can play it offline, I believe, but it's like a super not detailed globe. If you want the kind of detail that you're about to see as we fly into Los Angeles, you got to be online because it is streaming the map data. So it's pretty cool, as you'll see in a few minutes. Oh, here we go. Cool. Sweet. Hey, it's our first flight of the day. One cool thing about this game as well is with it being, of course, the real Earth and all that kind of stuff, you can turn it on. You can turn on settings such that there is live air traffic and there is live weather. So I'm actually flying, it is 4:04 here in Los Angeles in real life, and it is 4:04 in the game, and so the sun is in the right place and the weather is accurate and everything else is correct. So this is literally what LAX would look like in real life right now. So you can see, look at all those planes, the terminals, the tower, the funny circle-y building. But then looking out over actual Los Angeles. One thing you'll notice as we get into these flights, this game is just insanely beautiful. And if you're curious, I am using a joystick. It's a very old joystick. I've grown up playing flight simulators, so just a variety of different like combat and civilian flight simulators. And yeah, so this joystick is pretty old, but it still works really well. So I'm going to fly towards Los Angeles here. I think I turned the audio in the game down a bit because it keeps wanting to give me like pull up warnings and you're going too fast warnings. And I don't really want to hear those because I just want to sightsee. I'm going to come in a little bit more from the west. Get up like, I'm over like Hollywood right now. One cool feature that I'll probably employ as we go, as we make this kind of a sightseeing thing, is there is a pause button so that I can press that. My plane kind of freezes in the air and we can look around. So this is like Hollywood. This is Wilshire Boulevard, for example. We got like, I think LACMA is right here and some other, is that up there? I don't really know. This is, I just know that that's Wilshire. It goes into Los Angeles that way. Yeah, let's go over the Hollywood sign. Some of the requests that I got like on Instagram, a lot of like Los Angeles area things. So I saw Dodger Stadium, I saw Disneyland, someone said USC, so figured this would just be a good place to start because it kind of covers all of those in one fell swoop. So here we're going to be flying past the Hollywood sign. One thing is probably, I don't know if it's worth mentioning or not. Probably not. I'll pause it so we can take a look. Probably not worth mentioning. It's probably obvious. But if you were to really fly a plane in real life in the manner that I am currently flying this plane, you would get like super arrested. This is extremely dangerous. This is reckless. This goes against all kinds of FAA rules and such. Here's the Griffith Observatory for what it's worth. So you can see we're in Hollywood. It's Burbank out there, looking south, and there's Los Angeles. Let's hit up Dodger Stadium. That's just over this way. Dodger Stadium is a place that I personally really miss. I would probably have been there several times this year already, if not for this pandemic. But here is Dodger Stadium. Again, never fly this low, my gosh. So reckless. Check it out. So this is maybe a good time to talk about the sort of the data that this game uses and really the impressive amount of technology that went into making this game. This is obviously way more than a satellite image. A satellite cannot pick up this kind of fidelity with the geometry of the stadium by any means, or with this city. A satellite is ultimately, because it's so high above the earth, it's just a 2D image. So you can't get this sort of three-dimensional effect of a city. So the way that they actually photograph big cities and metropolitan areas like this is that you fly really, well, not this low, but you fly over a city with airplanes at probably 5 to 10,000 feet, and you have a suite of cameras and radar systems on the airplane to just take three-dimensional data of the city as you're flying over it. Oh boy, I don't want to crash into City Hall. That's not a thing. Whoops. Okay, I was cutting it a little close. but I literally almost crashed into literally City Hall. Okay, here's, I'm over Staples Center right now. I just blew past downtown Los Angeles and all the buildings. There's Staples Center, there's the LA Convention Center, and then popping over to, I want to go this way. We'll be flying over USC and Exposition Park. So this is all USC down here, and this is the Coliseum. This was I believe, like a basketball arena. This was no longer here anymore. This is where the LAFC plays. But here's the Coliseum, Natural History Museum, the Science Center. Yeah, this is Exposition Park. We got an SR-71 parked on the ground there. It's really cool. All right, let's head south. I want to show off some of Orange County, and on the way to Orange County from like downtown Los Angeles is actually like where I live, and Whittier Christian and some other places a little bit more local to where I literally am right now. So we'll go ahead and go there. It's only going to be, it's about like a 15 to 20 mile flight, but when you're going like 550 knots, it takes like 3 or 4 minutes. It's great. I'm pretty sure I have the audio turned down for the game going into this live stream, but it's not turned down for me and just my speakers. So I am getting just like this. The word is overspeed. It says that word over and over and over and over again. It's been going since literally the beginning of the stream. I kind of hope that you don't have to hear that because it is annoying. All right, I believe I'm flying over Whittier Boulevard. Below me right now. So we're coming into like Whittier and such. You can see how far back Los Angeles is already. I believe I am flying over Whitwood right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so this is, if you're familiar with Whittier in this area, this is Target. This is PetSmart. This is JCPenney. We've got like, this is where Chick-fil-A is, and yeah, whatever. Oh wait, it's up here. Bank of America, Chick-fil-A, Red Robin, whatever. So this is Whitwood. Let me keep flying east for another like, I don't know, 10 seconds. And then we're gonna be over Whittier Christian. So if you know, I guess if you know who I am, like you know that I work here. This is Whittier Christian High School. So, yeah, this is the student parking lot. This is the gym. My classroom is like right there. So that's fun. Yeah, this is Costco, that big building down there. Let me do this too. I'm gonna start flying south again towards like Orange County. I'm gonna follow like Beach Boulevard to get there, so that's gonna be here on the bottom right. There's Walmart, golf course going over the hills. We're like literally already in Fullerton, just within a few seconds. One thing I'll pause real quick and show this. Excuse me. One thing that's cool about the technology in the game is this is all, of course, being rendered live, and the technology that has been put into this is really just incredible. Check this out though. I want to show off some of the technology here. There's obviously different weather that happens in real life, and you can switch to live weather, which is I think what I've been on this whole time, which is pretty close to this setting called clear skies. But check this out. In real time, adding clouds. Oh, the game will kind of freeze up. It's fine. It's not going to crash. Probably. The game does get kind of slow when you start adding when you start adding a bunch of weather anomalies. Let's try rain. Check this out. Just all like live things that you can change. You can even do snow. Not that it would ever snow here in Fullerton, but you can see like how the ground is all covered in white now, so all the buildings and stuff automatically get layered. Genuinely like really impressive technology that goes into it. Storm, you just can't see anything. I'm going to stick with clear skies just because it looks the best and it's the easiest to fly in, but again, if I'm just showing off the game, this is part of the technology that goes into it. All right, here we go. We're in Fullerton. We're going to hit a couple freeways here. We're going to be flying first past the 91 freeway, and then right after it is the 5. So over the 91 right now, and then over, I'm going to fly with the 5 here for a minute, because in just a few seconds we're going to be over Disneyland. Already here it comes. Check it out. This big looking building right here is not actually a building per se. This is the Mickey and Friends parking garage. And in the past year or so, they actually built out this old parking lot to be an expansion of this parking garage. So this is the largest parking garage anywhere in the world, which is really impressive. The data for, I'll pause it here. The data for Disneyland that's in this game right now is, I believe, like 2 or 3 years old. So there's no Star Wars land yet. It would be up here, kind of above Rivers of America. But check this out. We've got, all the big sort of famous attractions. I can't zoom in and out when it's on pause. That's weird. Huh. Sorry, won't let me zoom in, I guess. But you can see for yourself, right? You've got Space Mountain. You've got the Matterhorn. This is, oh my gosh, what's the railroad? Big Thunder Mountain. It's been too long. These like blank looking buildings that I'm like right above, you're probably thinking, man, I've never seen a building at Disneyland that's just so like just a gray square. And that's because you don't get to see this part. These are what are called the show buildings. This is the haunted. Sorry, I put my real life finger up to my screen and then I realized that you can't see that. This is the show building for the Haunted Mansion. You can see the actual Haunted Mansion right out front here. This one right here is actually Pirates of the Caribbean. And then this one is Indiana Jones. The reason that all of these, rides have sort of like facades that are visible and in some cases interactable by guests, but then these show buildings like way off in the distance is because the Disneyland Railroad actually needs to get through here. And so all of these show buildings are on the outside of the railroad, and guests need to be transported actually underneath the railroad tracks in order to get to the rides themselves. So in the Haunted Mansion, they do that with the stretchy elevators. In the Pirates ride, they do that with the 2 drops in the water that get you, to a low enough level. And then in Indiana Jones, it's very subtle. It's actually the pathway, like the queue, the line itself. If you ever notice, as you're going through those caves and caverns, you're actually going down in elevation. And the line is so long that over the, 100 yards or so that you're in line, you've actually dropped a good 20 feet or so in elevation. So that's a quick overview of Disneyland. There's obviously more that we could point out, but those are all the visible things. Looking over at California Adventure, let me fly a little bit closer. Obviously, this water is where they have a big tree where the Mickey's Fun Wheel should be. It's kind of funny. You've obviously got the Incredicoaster. This is the Cars ride. Again, you see this big white, top of a building. That's the show building for Cars. Here's the Tower of Terror. Now it's Guardians of the Galaxy like the Mission Breakout, I think it's called. Soaring over California, which is ironically what I'm doing in this game, is right here. That's that checkerboard looking building. This is the Grand Californian Hotel, this big sprawling hotel here. And then for what it's worth, all of these buildings kind of stretching out west, going here, actually going over Harbor Boulevard, which is right here. This is downtown Disney that sneaks in between the parks, which is really cool. So, down south here, this is the Anaheim Convention Center. This is the Hilton. This is a lot of cool stuff. Let me keep flying just a quick bit south. We're going to be here in like, oh shoot, I don't want to flip all the way over. Sorry. It's hard to narrate and fly from a third-person vantage point all at once. This is, of course, Angel Stadium. So shout out to fellow Angels fans out there. Looks really good in this game, except for the fact that there are trees growing in the stands for some reason. That's all just because this is auto-generated really quickly by computers. These don't actually exist. But man, it just looks really good. This is the Honda Center as well, where the Ducks play. So, yeah. Real quick thing. This will be probably a couple minutes worth of flight, but if Mr. Walker's still watching, I'll show off his new school, where he's going to be a principal at starting this year. So, I'm just going to follow the 5 freeway down for a while. There'll be some highlights on the way anyway, so. Let's see. Still the 5, right? Yeah. Hope so. Am I lost? Wait a second. This is orange. Ah, beans. I got lost. Hold on. I thought I was following. Yeah, I was. That's the 5. I'm seeing the 405 now. I'm good. I know where I am. So this freeway on the right side, kind of going forward, that's the 405 freeway. There's another freeway coming up from the left side. That is the 5 freeway. Where they converge, they come together right here. We're going to be flying over the Irvine Spectrum, which has like the Ferris wheel and some other cool stuff. Just a lot of shops and outlets and things. So we are right over the Irvine Spectrum right now. And now they have merged. So it's just the 5 freeway now again. And I'll try my hardest not to lose it. Getting into Lake Forest, Laguna Hills, stuff like that. You really fly through. Dang it, no pun intended. You really fly a lot faster than you can drive. That's just science. All right, coming up on where Mr. Walker is. Gonna be working next year. We're coming up on, this is now like San Juan Capistrano. That was all told, what, about I don't know, a couple minutes worth of flight. But the 5 freeway is going to turn right here. Here in San Juan. So let's see. Again, I don't even know if, James, I don't even know if you're still watching. But your new school, let's see. Across there. Hold on, I lost it. It's like a 90%. All right, it's Oh, I might have been. I'm a little past it, actually. It is... Oh, I can't zoom in. Dang it. It's up there somewhere. James, you know where you are. So yeah. So that's a quick run through of Orange County, actually Los Angeles and Orange County. All told, we've been flying for like 20 minutes, and you can already get that far. 20 minutes is not even far enough to get like to the 5 freeway from like my house, like driving. So let's kill this flight. Let me start a completely new flight. Again, it's going to take some time to load, but I don't know if anyone's in the chat wants to say hi. I see Mr. Walker was here. He asked where my office was at the school. Yeah, I should have pointed that out. I see Clay Haymar. What's up, Clay? He says that's so interesting. Never knew about going under the train. Yeah. Yeah, the original Disneyland was meant to be contained within the railway. But then they got to a point where it's like, hey, we want more stuff to do. So, yeah, they had to build out of it, but they needed a cool, magical way to get students. I've just got school in my mind. To get guests to and from the attractions without them really knowing, without breaking the magic. It's New York, by the way. It's gonna be our destination. If you couldn't tell from me, like selecting New York on the map. So I'll be taking off from the main, I guess one of the two main airports in New York City. There's JFK and then there's LaGuardia. But kind of by all accounts, JFK is considered the nicer airport, I believe. I've never been, actually, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Clay, say Dallas Fort Worth. Yeah, let's hop over to Dallas Fort Worth after a little bit of time in New York. And if DFW doesn't stand for Dallas Fort Worth, please correct me. I saw your Instagram comment, Clay, about going from LAX to Dallas Fort Worth, and that's obviously doable. But that would be quite a while in this simulator. It would be about 3 or 4 hours. All right, New York. You can already see it out in the distance. And again, this is live weather. You can see the sun is kind of starting to set. Whoa, that rudder though, huh? There we go. Nope. Up. Yeah, Clay, this is real time. This is real time weather in New York City. It must be pretty sunny. Unless I don't, let me just double check here. Let me see if this settings page said, oh, it doesn't say live weather. If we say live weather, oh, okay, the sun went down a little bit more. Oh, and there's some clouds. There we go. That all just popped in. Okay, so this is what New York City would currently look like. From sort of a weather perspective. Hey, Jason. What's up, cousin? Thanks for tuning in, dude. This is fun. Yeah, Clayton, it takes exactly the same time to fly between places in the simulator. There might be a setting to do fast forwarding in this game. I've been looking for that setting for a long time, and I have not. Oh, excuse me. I have not found it. So it's something that I would have to like search back for or something. Hold on, real quick. I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause the simulation. I'm going to turn off the clouds for 2 reasons. Number one, it makes it drops my frames per second a little bit. But secondly, it's also just more beautiful to look at sightseeing stuff. All right, so check this out. Here's the Statue of Liberty. We're going to really just buzz by the Statue of Liberty. This is obviously not... oh, I can suddenly zoom in again, so that's nice. This is obviously not taken from a satellite, and in fact, this is not even something that is modeled from low-flying LiDAR aircraft. This model of the Statue of Liberty is so detailed that this has got to be handcrafted by a 3D modeler in some kind of 3D modeling program. So it's really impressive that they include stuff like that. So yeah, let's head up to actual Manhattan. Realize this, doing flybys of New York City skyscrapers probably isn't like super kosher. My apologies for that. But yeah, you've got the One World Trade Center right there. And this is Manhattan Island. So it's only about a mile or so to get to here, the Empire State Building. So I can pause here and we can take a look around. Whoops. There we go. I missed the button. Here's the Empire State Building. This is, I believe, Madison Square Garden. Times Square is like right up here somewhere. There's just a lot of buildings. That's just how New York City is. Chrysler Building is over here. This is the City Building. 30 Rock is, I don't know New York well enough. Oh well. Once we get past all these buildings, we've got Central Park. This really gives a sense of scale, just how big Central Park is. The amount of real estate that is occupied by Central Park is genuinely impressive when you see just how packed in all of these buildings are just for miles and miles and miles. And there's just this huge swath of nature. It's really cool. I saw something that's popped in my mind from like years ago. I saw some guy try to assess what Central Park would be valued at from sort of a real estate perspective. And I think it was in like it was just like hundreds of billions, maybe even like trillions of dollars. Just ridiculous. It is such prime real estate. Here's something I wanted to see. This is Yankee Stadium, which is, of course, where the New York Yankees play. This stadium is new. This stadium was built in about 2012, I think. This park right here, to sort of the south side, this diamond right here is actually where the original Yankee Stadium was. So they kept the same like dimensions and stuff, and it's a public park now. So you can play in the exact place that Yankees for about 100 years played, which is really cool. So yeah, this is obviously the Bronx. If I fly east real quick, we'll see if I can find Citi Field, which is where the New York Mets play. This airport, by the way, that we're going to be flying over is not where I took off from. This is LaGuardia. This is the other major airport in New York City, coming up here on the left. All right. Now, I don't know exactly, actually, where Citi Field is, where the Mets play. I thought it was around here. That ain't it. I just know it's like, I don't know, on this side of New York. That's so vague. Oh well, let me keep flying for like a minute and see if I can find it. See if I can see it. There it is. Yep. Pretty close. And you know it's close to LaGuardia when you're watching a Mets game because a Mets home game, I should clarify, because there are always planes flying in the background of the outfield, right? If you're going to be flying into LaGuardia, you're going to be basically right in the sights of like the press box of here in Citi Field. Pretty close to Citi Field is this park. I forget the name of it, but if you've ever seen the movie Men in Black, it's where like the finale of the movie takes place, and like there's like those two like circular tower things that like the aliens take off in. It's really weird. So yeah, just a quick run through. I mean, I know there's like a million things to see in New York City, but that's kind of like a quick run through of New York, which is really cool. I'm gonna hop into one more flight for the night. Let's go ahead and go to Dallas-Fort Worth, because Clayton, you're a cool dude, and I miss you, and I hope you're doing well. So I should say Dallas-Fort Worth is not a flight that I have necessarily prepared for. I don't really know what I'm looking for, and I don't know what kind of landmarks I'll find, but the game does do a pretty good job of labeling like cool things that you're flying by. So let's go here. That's Austin. Dallas-Fort Worth. There we go. Departure. Is that really where the U.S. Open is? I did not know that. You got Clayton in the chat telling me that all those tennis courts by Citi Field, where the Mets play, is where the U.S. Open is held. Figured it must have been, I mean, obviously some kind of big tennis event. Didn't know it was literally the U.S. Open. Hey, Clay lives close to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. We'll be flying over his house. Load times, though. Hey, apparently those are the magic words. All right, this is Dallas-Fort Worth. Let's pop over external view, unlock the brakes. I hope this doesn't jinx it, but I'm really happy I haven't crashed yet. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Luckily, the game is pretty forgiving about that. You can just pick up where you left off. You can choose to restart the flights. It doesn't shame you for it. And by the way, there are no like crash animations or explosions or anything like that. I guess they don't want to like encourage people doing that stuff. All right, let's see. So I am up and off the ground. Like I said, I don't really know my way around Dallas. I've never been. Have I been to Texas? Have I been to Dallas? I think I got like a layover into Dallas once. Maybe. Or was it Houston? I don't know. Somewhere in Texas. On my way to Atlanta. I don't know where I don't know where like stuff is at. Let me pull up a on my other computer. I am simultaneously trying to fly an aircraft and not have it crash. I am looking at a map on another computer entirely, and I'm trying to narrate this entire process, which just doesn't feel smart. All right. Dallas. Oh, okay. So I am. Boy, I'm at 13,000 feet already. This thing really climbs. I need to go like southeast. So the city should be like that away. I don't know. We'll find out. Headed southeast. The big lake northeast. Yeah, I see the big lake. Here, let's go that way. Tell me where to go in the chat. I see a big lake northeast. I'll see it. Right there. It's that lake out in the distance. Let's do this too. Let me set it to live weather. And we'll see if anything changes. And then we can get you, Clayton, to confirm or deny if this is what Dallas currently looks like. Yeah, so looking on my other computer, it looks like this is called Lake Louisville. It's a good maybe 10 miles or so away from downtown Dallas. To the left of the lake. You got it. Aim for this shore. And this is it. This is where Clayton is, everybody. Just putting this on blast for everyone in the world. Should be kind of a good view. Somewhere hereabouts, apparently. Oh, wrong lake. Oh, shoot. Lake Grapevine. Oh, that's to the northwest of the airport. You said northeast, Clayton. I gotta go this way. For what it's worth, these kind of G-forces would rip the wings off of this plane. I'm going way too fast to be turning this hard. So here is Lake Grapevine. And yeah, Jason, I can set it to more realistic physics, but I don't like it just like ending my flight. Well, basically the screen, again, it doesn't show any sort of animation of a crash or an explosion. The screen just fades to black and it says you have basically, yeah, like put stress on the aircraft and your flight is over. So, yeah. There you go. Somewhere over here, apparently, correction is where Clay currently finds himself. Where Clay is currently watching this live stream. And in fact, I'm gonna pop right on over the airport once again. Hey, I can buzz the tower like in Top Gun. This is a negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. And this is oh, there's like multiple. Wow, there's a lot of towers at this airport, huh? I'm just gonna go for this one. And this is the point where the dude like spills his coffee on his uniform. It's great. They love it. I think they love it when they do that. If I head sort of in this direction, I should at some point run into like actual downtown Dallas, like big buildings and stuff. But I'm not 100% on that. It's looking like this is looking at the buildings that I'm flying over, these are not the photogrammetry. Oh, there's some big buildings out in the distance, yeah. So Dallas is apparently not one of the cities that has that like really, really high quality treatment. So all of these buildings are auto-generated rather than generated by low-flying planes with cameras. So none of these buildings are like exactly what they really look like, but they are sort of like auto-generated substitutes for them. So whatever, still looks good. I ain't complaining. But here we go. Here's like downtown Dallas. Here's like some actual like big old buildings. Unfortunately, they're not the right color or texture, because again, they are auto-generated. For example, this one on the end here with all the little edges, that one should be blue. That I know that's like the Chase Tower. Yeah, well, that kind of sucks. There's not like a ton to see there. Look for real quick. It shouldn't be a long flight, but if I go to Arlington, that's going to be straight west of us. I know in Arlington you can find of course, the stadiums for the Dallas Cowboys and the Texas Rangers, possibly others. Those are just the two that I know. But that is basically straight west of downtown Dallas. It's over here somewhere. Let's try that. Alright, should actually be around here. Oh, but again, this is all auto-generated, so maybe it's not going to stand out really well. There's a chance it doesn't look anything like the real thing. Let me pause it just to be sure I No, it's coming up. Should be up in the distance. Oh, there it is. I see him. Oh, look, it's even highlighted on the map. I wonder if these stadiums have, hand modeling, or if they're, because AT&T Stadium definitely definitely looks like shiny. I don't think a computer would have auto-generated that. This is a... I'm flying over a theme park right now. Is that like a... Is that, oh, what's the name of it? My goodness. Is this Six Flags? No, it is not. I'm looking on the map. Looks like another place. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, wow, AT&T Stadium is definitely hand-modeled. That looks great. Check that out. That is really impressive. That is definitely not auto-generated. Awesome. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. So this is Globe Life Field where the Texas Rangers play. But that is, let me show you a better view. Oh shoot, oh beans, wrong way. Nearly crashed into AT&T Stadium. Check out Globe Life Field for a second. Because it is this is an auto-generated baseball stadium. I might crash. Nope, okay. This would be the last thing anyway, so it wouldn't have like super mattered. Check out Globe Life Stadium. This is what it looks like when it tries to auto-generate a baseball stadium. It's just like a generic-looking 2-story building that has a hole in the middle for a baseball field. So, it's kind of weird. Anyway. All right. Folks, I think we're going to call that a night. This has been really cool. Again, just trying to get the technology working, make sure that I actually have make sure that I still have the technology and the know-how to live stream. And from my indications, at least, this has kind of worked out pretty well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for contributing. Thanks to the folks that have submitted ideas, right, for where to fly. If I do this again in the next kind of, I guess, whenever, if I literally ever do this again, I'm sure I will post about it, and you can tune in again, throw out different ideas. But otherwise, this is going to do it for me. So thanks, y'all. Have yourself